the most dangerous criminal hacker in America, never planned on being a hero. But on a cold, silent night, Elias Frost, the ghost wanted by every cybercrime unit in the country, found something he never expected: a dying FBI agent, bleeding on the floor of a deserted alley, shot by her own team, left for dead. And in that moment, the most feared hacker alive faced a choice: walk away and stay invisible, or save the one person who could put him in prison for the rest of his life. What he chose changed the nation. Elias Frost glided through the abandoned district with the precision of a man who had mastered the art of disappearing. A ghost to the world, the kind of elite cybercriminal who could crash banks, erase identities, and vanish without a trace. But tonight, he wasn't running from the FBI. He was running from the chaos in his own mind. Hours earlier, one of his hidden networks had been raided. Servers gone. Safe houses exposed. Years of work reduced to ashes by agents trained to hunt digital phantoms like him. He walked the city seeking clarity, but instead heard a faint, broken gasp. Barely alive, barely human. He followed it into a shadow-drowned alley. That's where he saw her. A woman in a shredded tactical vest, face bruised, ribs fractured, breath collapsing in shallow bursts. Her cracked FBI badge glinted weakly beside her blood. Agent Maya Brooks. He knew the name. He knew the voice from intercepted FBI transmissions. One of the few agents capable of tracking him, now dying at his feet. Elias froze. Saving her meant destroying everything he had built. But something twisted inside him. Something he hadn't felt since the night the government program that killed his mother was buried in silence. Another innocent, abandoned by the system. Another life on the edge. He couldn't walk away. Not again. With a decision that would reshape his fate, Elias lifted Maya into his arms and stepped into a storm no criminal could ever escape. Elias carried Maya through the maze of forgotten service tunnels that ran beneath the city. Old telecom shafts, long abandoned, flooded with shadows, echoing with distant drips and metallic groans. His heavy boots splashed through shallow pools, his tattooed arms tightening around her weakening body as her breath fluttered against his chest. Deep underground, he reached the entrance to his hidden bunker. A fortified chamber carved from industrial ruins, walls lined with humming servers stacked like silent sentinels. Endless screens cast cold blue light across the room, their glow reflecting stolen secrets, crashed systems, and the digital ghosts of lives he had erased. But tonight, this wasn't a hacker's sanctuary. Tonight, it became an improvised operating room. Elias laid her on a metal table, the harsh glare of a single overhead lamp exposing the damage. Blood soaked her tactical vest, each shallow breath trembling through broken ribs. He tore off his jacket, hands shaking, not from fear of her, but from the terrifying realization that saving a life required a skill he did not possess. Still, he worked. He cleaned the wound with makeshift supplies. He pressed cloth against the bleeding. He stabilized her breathing with careful, uncertain movements. He dug a bullet from her side, using tools not meant for medicine, but for technology. And as he worked, the truth played across her lips in broken pieces. She had not been wounded during a mission. She had been marked for execution, shot by the very agents sworn to protect her, punished for uncovering something monstrous, something so deep within the FBI that even she had not fully understood the scale. Her voice faded, her eyes slipping closed, but one final whisper escaped. So soft, Elias almost missed it. "They're coming. For both of us." Those words hit him harder than any bullet, because if they were coming for him, he was ready. But coming for her, that changed everything. Hours slipped by as rain hammered the city above, each drop echoing like a countdown. Elias sat hunched over glowing screens, scanning encrypted channels and police frequencies. The moment the truth surfaced, his blood turned to ice. Maya Brooks had been officially declared dead. A memorial planned, her case quietly closed, her death sealed in silence. Someone wanted her erased completely, and someone with real power knew she might still be alive. At 3:14 a.m., the bunker erupted in red alarm light. Unmarked vehicles appeared on external feeds. Thermal drones swept the area. Encrypted chatter filled the scanners. An off-book FBI unit closing in fast. They weren't coming for him. They were coming to finish her. Elias killed every system, plunged the bunker into darkness, and braced for the siege he knew was moments away. The bunker shook violently as the first breaching charge tore through the outer wall, sending a thunderous blast through the underground chamber. Dust cascaded from the ceiling in thick clouds, filling the air with debris and the metallic taste of danger. Elias didn't hesitate. He grabbed Maya, her body limp, breath faint and uneven, and pulled her deeper into the twisting labyrinth carved beneath the city. The corrupt unit poured through the breached entrance with cold efficiency. Their boots slammed against the steel floor, flashlights slicing through the darkness. They swept each room with military precision, fast, silent, merciless. This wasn't a rescue. It was an execution squad, and they had done this before. Elias moved quickly, mind racing. He activated an emergency sequence wired into the bunker's outdated infrastructure. Lights flickered, power grids rerouted, heavy doors slammed shut. The entire facility transformed into a maze of dead ends and false passageways, steel traps designed to confuse, delay, frustrate. But he knew it was temporary. He hadn't built the bunker to withstand a federal kill team. He needed to disappear. He needed to take her somewhere they couldn't follow. Carrying Maya against his chest, he pushed into a narrow maintenance shaft, coated in dust and rust. The climb was brutal. One arm wrapped around her, the other gripping the ladder rail slick with condensation. Below him, the distant shouts of agents grew louder, sharper, more frantic, as they realized the bunker wasn't behaving like any structure they expected. Halfway up, Maya stirred weakly, her breath catching in pain. But Elias tightened his hold and continued upward until he reached an old access grate that opened into a forgotten subway line. The tunnel stretched in both directions, abandoned and silent, swallowed by darkness. Before escaping fully, Elias reached into his jacket and activated a small device, his last contingency. A sharp electromagnetic pulse erupted through the bunker below, washing over every circuit like a digital wildfire. Monitors went black, radios died, body cams flickered out. Every piece of evidence inside the bunker gone in an instant. The corrupt unit would emerge blind, cut off, furious. But Elias and Maya were already gone, vanishing into the dead subway tunnels as the city above continued to sleep, unaware that a silent war had just begun beneath its feet. Hidden in the shadows of a forgotten subway station, Maya Brooks finally began to stabilize. The frantic rise and fall of her chest softened, her breath steadied, and the violent tremors in her hands faded. Minutes passed like hours until, at last, her eyes opened, clear, focused, and filled with the weight of a truth too heavy to carry alone. And then it all spilled out. For 3 relentless years, she had tracked a secret buried deep within federal walls, an unauthorized surveillance program capable of tapping into private cameras, personal phones, encrypted networks, even devices believed to be offline. It watched citizens without warrants. It listened to their lives without consent. It collected data the government had no legal right to touch. It wasn't authorized. It wasn't monitored. It wasn't legal. It was a weapon disguised as intelligence. But the true horror was not the program itself. It was the people protecting it. A covert faction inside the FBI, agents with influence, connections, and decades of hidden loyalty, had built a private empire out of blackmail, manipulation, and silence. Anyone who discovered the truth was eliminated, quietly, efficiently, without a trace. Maya had stumbled too close. She had seen names she wasn't supposed to see. She had followed a trail that led straight into the heart of internal corruption. And for that, they marked her for death. As she spoke, Elias felt the pieces of his own past snapping together like a trap closing. His mother's mysterious death, the classified medical reports that vanished, the witnesses who suddenly forgot. The government program she had tried to expose before her life was erased from every record. Maya's voice trembled as she finished, but the meaning was sharp as a blade. Her investigation had threatened the same people who had silenced his mother. The revelation hit Elias like a shockwave. Rage surged through him, hot, controlled, precise. But beneath the fury, something deeper stirred. Something long, buried under years of hacking, running, fighting. A sense of purpose. For the first time since he was a child, Elias Frost felt the fire of a mission worthy of him, protecting Maya, destroying the people who hunted her, exposing the rot inside the system that had stolen his mother's life. He wasn't just fighting to survive anymore. He was fighting to set the truth free. And for a man like Elias, that meant the war had only just begun. Elias didn't run. He didn't hide. He went on the offensive. Deep in the shadows of the abandoned subway station, he turned the entire underground into a digital battlefield. Using stolen satellites orbiting above, forgotten military relays buried in government archives, and hijacked communication channels no longer on record, he unleashed a cyber attack unlike anything the corrupt faction had ever imagined. He dived into their servers with surgical precision. He cracked firewalls designed by the best minds in federal intelligence. He tore open classified databases, pulling every thread of corruption loose, emails detailing secret deals, bank transfers linking officials to criminal networks, hidden reports rewritten to bury the truth. And worst of all, assassination orders, cold and clinical, targeting anyone who got too close. In minutes, Elias had everything he needed. Years of buried crimes laid bare in front of him. Enough truth to destroy careers. Enough evidence to topple an empire. Enough fire to burn the entire conspiracy to ash. But evidence meant nothing if it stayed in the dark. The truth was useless if no one saw it. So Elias Frost made the boldest choice of his life. A choice no hacker, no criminal, no ghost had ever dared to make. He stepped out of the shadows. He went public. At exactly 9 p.m., every screen in the city flickered. News channels, billboards, phones, computers, traffic signs, all taken over by one man. One ghost. One criminal. Elias Frost. His face appeared on every screen as he revealed the darkest secret the nation had never seen. An illegal surveillance system run by corrupt agents willing to murder their own for silence. Then the world saw something no one expected. Agent Maya Brooks. Alive. Standing beside the criminal she once hunted, her voice anchored the nation. This is not the work of the FBI. This is the work of traitors hiding inside it. And tonight, we expose them. The country erupted. The corrupt unit was arrested. The secret program was dismantled. A federal investigation tore through the agency like wildfire. Maya was promoted. A hero. A survivor. A symbol of courage. And Elias? He vanished. A ghost once more. But not the same ghost he had been. Because this time, he didn't disappear to hide. He disappeared to rebuild. Not an empire. Not a hacking ring. But a mission. To protect the innocent. To expose corruption. To do from the shadows what the system failed to do in the light. And somewhere in the deepest corners of the digital world, a whisper began to spread like wildfire. The world's most dangerous hacker isn't working against us anymore. He's working for the truth. Elias Frost became a myth the moment he disappeared. A shadow that hunted corruption, a ghost that protected the innocent, a criminal the system once feared, turned into the hero the world secretly needed. Because sometimes, justice doesn't come from the light. Sometimes, it rises from the darkest places. Sometimes, the only one who can save us is the very criminal we've been chasing. If this story shook you, inspired you, or pulled you into its world, hit subscribe and join the Haven. Because here, we bring you stories of power, survival, justice, stories the world tries to bury. Welcome to African Story Haven, where the shadows have a voice, and every story reveals the truth the system wants to hide.